And up here we have more cannons. You got 2 cannons there. And I saw another one. I think it's over that way there. This is the expanded stockade. There you go. We got some stocks out here. Prisoners would have been put in these. I'm assuming that's what those are. I could be wrong. No, that's one long set. No, yeah, that's one long set of stocks. I think they put their legs in there. They don't have a storyboard out here for that, but we'll see what we can find out. And you can notice the hasty building of this one because you can see between the logs. Pigeon roosts. Sentry boxes or pigeon roosts were mounted every 100 feet along the top of the stockade. The guards there had orders to shoot any prisoner who crossed the deadline. Otherwise, they had little control over conditions inside. Perched above the camp, the guards themselves became prisoners of tedium and anxiety, always fearful of prisoner uprising or Union cavalry attacks. After a while, the noise, the stench, and the view across acres of ragged men and shelters must have numbed the senses. Yep. Even local townspeople sometimes came to gawk at the prisoners. Each of the guards faced a vast mass of prisoners and was ordered to closely watch the deadline before and below him, halfway to his comrade on his left and right. John L. Mayle, 8th Michigan Infantry, May 22nd, 1864. The guards were mostly old men and young boys from the Georgia Reserve Corps. And here, this is, I'm guessing, what they would have been living in. This kind of homemade shelter. I think our homeless people now live in better shelters than we kept these prisoners. But this was war. So. And these boards right here are in line with the deadline, folks. So if you look right down the edge of the boards, all the way down, you'll see posts down through there. That is the deadline. So between these boards and this wall, that guard up there would shoot you. Although, looking at some of these pictures and reading this stuff, I think it would probably be best just to be shot. There's a marker there. Shebangs. Not a good place to be. And we were way over yonder, folks. You see a black truck, we were parked there. That's with the bridge with the wasp nest underneath it. So we're gonna go check out these monuments too, but we're gonna park over that area. So yeah, there's the other cannon. Okay, folks, we're here at the memorials, and let's see what they have to say. Okay, kind of hard to read there, but this one here is in commemoration of the untiring devotion of Clara Barton. She organized and administered efficient measures for the relief of our soldiers in the field and aided in the great work of preserving the names of more than 12,000 and of the brave men who died here. Okay, that was 1915. (1809 to 1865). Fourscore, that's Lincoln's speech there. Memorial Day Order, General Order number 11. So, and I don't know, y'all can pause that and read it. Nothing on the backside. I wanted to get to the units here. This big one over here is dedicated to Wisconsin. So, yes, even though this was a Union prison, Confederate prison housing Union soldiers. This is about Father Peter Whalen. So, y'all can read that. Let's see here. What did Private Henry M. Davidson, 1st Ohio Light Artillery, say? By coming here, he exposed himself to great danger of infection. His services were sought by all, for in his kind and sympathizing looks, his meek but earnest appearance, the despairing prisoners read that all humanity had not forsaken mankind. This is to the Wisconsin, known dead, 378, right there. To live in hearts we leave behind is not to die. We'll check out the other side of that too. Moments in memory. At this corner of the prison, the state of Wisconsin erected a monument near the site where many Wisconsin prisoners had camped. Prisoners tended to form groups by state or regiment to sustain morale. Look for other monuments on the prison site and in the National Cemetery where so little historical evidence remains. Symbols of commemoration have become an important part of Andersonville's physical and emotional landscape. I wish it would have said more about what these guys are. And there's two more cannons over there. 1906. Let us have peace. I'm sorry about the sun, folks. There, maybe that's a little bit better. This monument erected by the state of Wisconsin in grateful remembrance to her sons who suffered and died in Andersonville Prison, March 1864 to April 1865. So, there we go. And here we have one to Rhode Island. Our honored dead. There they have the names of the dead. Rhode Island. Some more names. Man, it look like all privates. Private. There's a sergeant down there. A corporal. Privates. Corporal, private, corporal. Yeah. Sergeant. I don't see any officers. Maybe they kept the officers someplace different. So I don't know. Okay. So go down through here. This one is to Massachusetts, erected by the Commonwealth in memory of her sons who died in Andersonville, 1864 to 1865. Death before dishonor. Known dead, 767. Resolves, 1900, Chapter 77. Approved, May 28th. W. Murray Crane, Governor. and the commission there. So they got to get their name on. Sometimes I think these commissioners are just to prove these things, so they'll have their name on a monument somewhere. Yeah, they're all politicians. This one is Ohio. To her 1,055 loyal sons who died here in Camp Sumter. From March 1864 to April 1865, this monument is dedicated. E pluribus unum, and it's a pretty good obelisk there. Death before dishonor. And that looks like the state seal. And you know, none of the commissioners put their name on it. None of the committee that authorized that put their name on it. I appreciate that. This monument was erected by the voluntary contributions of their surviving comrades and friends. Tennessee, in memory of her Union soldiers and loyal sons who died in Confederate prisons during the War of 1861-1865. We who live may for ourselves forget, but not for those who died here. 1284. It doesn't say when this one was erected. Nope, okay. And this one is erected in 1934 by the National Women's Relief Corps Auxiliary of the Grand Army of the Republic as a tribute to the heroism of the sons of the following states who are buried in Andersonville National Cemetery. Number of dead. And all these little concrete markers here have benchmarks in them. That's a historic well, number 14. We'll look at a couple of the other ones, see what they are. Okay. Escape tunnels. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. So, the ground at this end of the prison is pocked with deep holes, either tunnels or wells. Overcrowding disguised the digging beneath the sea of tattered shelters. Prisoners could work undetected with mess plates, spoons, and canteen halves. It is tempting to call every excavation an escape tunnel, but many have been wells. With the camp stream lethally polluted, the search for fresh water was as urgent as the need to escape. Concrete markers indicate sites where other wells and tunnels have been discovered. Most have been filled in by the park staff to help preserve the integrity of the historic features. Okay, there we go. Doesn't say why that tree is fenced off, but now we know what these concrete markers are. So let's go find something else to look at. The museum don't open for a while, so we can't go there, but we will here when it opens. I'll bring y'all back when I find something else. Here, we're headed over towards the cemetery itself. They got a nice little picnic area here. Come out and enjoy the day. No parking, I guess, unless you're gonna park on the side of the road, but coming into the cemetery, and we'll park, I guess, where we find a place to park.